What's up, guys? Welcome to Discover Powersports. Today is wash day. Just got back from Arkansas. We got to get this thing washed up because we are going to start working on it. We're going to get this thing ready to compete at the Red Bull Ranch Scramble in Decatur, Texas. So yeah, so be sure to stay tuned, check it out. We're going to get this thing set up for racing, see how it goes. Clean the X3. Good job, buddy. Yeah, get in there. Get those radius rods all cleaned up. Gotta have those polished for more speed. Alright, I think we got her all scrubbed up. We use the Slick products on discoverpowersports.com. Check that out. But that's what we use because it works really well. Gets all the grime and junk off. I've had multiple rides on this machine, dirty, so you know, wet, and the last ride in Arkansas was really wet, so it was wet dry a bunch of times, and so that crap kind of starts to build up, but this stuff just peels it right off. You know, all the grime. So anyway, I'm gonna get a final rinse on this thing. We got little man finishing up the scrubbing. He's getting the radius rods all polished, and we'll be ready to tear into the sway bar and adjusting the springs. All right, I think it was last summer that we made a half-hearted attempt to put my sway bar back in. We never even really finished it up. I think it was when we were going to the dunes or something. I can't remember exactly. But so we put it up and we basically just wired it up like this to where it was up out of the way. But times are a-changing. Need it. So the links, the whole bar is in upside down, I think. So we need to switch the links around so that we can get it hooked up right here into the upper control arm. So I'm gonna take these links off so that we can flip it down. I'll get her hooked up and we should be good to go there. That's just all right. So I've got the sway bar. She's hooked up both sides. I just need to get a bracket in there that Steven's taking care of. Hooked up here, everything's tight, so hopefully I won't have any you know, come loose. It's really popular on these X3s that the link on the upper control arm will come loose and makes a really nasty popping noise. But yeah, so right now as it sits, the front suspension, I've got about 17.5 inches of ground clearance, and on the back, so the back is actually 18 inches, which is where I had it at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna lower the front and rear. My goal is 13 to 14 inches. I want to bring it down quite a bit. I want to see how it looks and how it feels at that height, and then if I want to go down, I'll go down from there. So I need to run the springs quite a ways up to get that change. So you guys have seen us do ride height adjustments before on Stevens, because his was way wacky after those springs settled. So I'm just gonna throw a time lapse on, get this puppy in the air, and get the chisel and start cranking on some springs. Alright, so I was dreaming. I've got the springs, I mean, they're almost ran all the way out. So I went ahead and left it where it is now. Because it looks pretty dang low compared to where it was. But we're sitting at 15 inches now. So I'm gonna do the same thing in the rear. But yeah, she's definitely sitting way forward. Oh, we still gotta go down some at 16. Dang, I adjusted it a ton. Okay, I'm gonna take her. You know what? I'm just gonna see how it feels there, because under acceleration, the rear is gonna squat like crazy. It's at 16, the front's 15 and a half, so that should be good. By the time it settles, I rolled it back and forth several times to get it to settle. So that should be an accurate reading, but we'll see how it does at this height. If I don't feel like it's handling as well as I'd like it to, then I'll lower it down more. So I'm going to tighten up the retaining rings at the top of the spring, and God, it's so much lower. I'm going to tighten those up, and then we're going to take it for a spin. I got to see how it's going to feel. Take some corners with both sway bars on it. It should feel quite a bit different, I feel like. I mean, it should. It made a big difference, I know, when I took the sway bar off initially. I know it made the ride smoother. I did, so that we do have the crossover rings. I don't think I'm going to change those. Both front and back, they're not far off the crossover rings. I think I'm just going to leave them as is, so that whenever I go crank it back up for the dunes after the race, those will be in the right spot. And really, I mean, I'm gonna want mainspring anyway, right? Supposedly. Especially going over the harsh stuff. So I'll see how it rides. If I don't like it, or maybe it'll upset the car because it's too stiff riding on those mainsprings. I don't know. But I'm gonna leave them as is for now. So I'm gonna get this thing buttoned up. We're gonna jump in and go for a cruise. Okay, holy smokes. I've only just put like a couple miles on, but it's different. It's definitely different. So, sway bar on, and suspension lower. It is turning way better. Definitely the sway bar off is a little better for my riding style, but holy smokes, it handles a lot better as it sits right now. So I was cranking into some turns that I knew were a little sketchy before, and it just took them. So I just pulled over to our little track. I'm gonna do a little reconnaissance lap. We've gotten a bunch of rain. I don't know how much is washed out, and I don't want to catch something weird and crash. So I'm gonna do a little reconnaissance lap, check it out, and then I'm gonna hit it with a good lap. Gotta let her eat. There it goes! Woo! That's why we're doing this now. So we can practice. Dang, man! That was close. Practicing from here on out, I'm going to wear a helmet and my gloves and everything because I want to practice how I would be racing. That just makes sense, right? So that's the plan. I'll practice how I race, and I'll be able to talk to y'all right through the mic. I just backed this thing in here and just blind backed in here. Look at the clearance between this radius rod and this tape measure. That's some precision right there. Anyway, I just got back. Man, this thing is so much fun. Like, I have a newfound, I don't know if it's a newfound because I already respect this thing a lot, but like, I enjoy the crap out of it, and the fact that it can do what it was doing. Pretty awesome. So it looks like maybe it settled some more. I mean, after doing a little ripping, I don't know how tall it is now, but it's sitting pretty low. And I was ripping good. So there's a couple other things I'm going to do to get ready for the race. I'm going to put a fire extinguisher on that bar right there. I've got the one out there, but I'm going to put a quick connect. I'm going to remove the windshield because I really don't want the glass to get broken. And I'll have a helmet with a visor and everything on it. Maybe look at playing with some tire pressures. I like how the suspension was reacting. It's stiff, but I mean, that's what I want. That's what you need whenever you're going to be running it hard. That's okay. I know. But other than that, I mean, I think mechanically it's going to be ready to race. She'll be ready to go after that. I'll get the windshield off, do the fire extinguishers. Oh, I'll have to put the window nets on. I'll do that later. I'll swap the harnesses out later. And then the secondary door latch, I'll do that later as well, as not, you know, as we get closer to the race day. So I'll go out to the property, smooth some crap out. That way it's, you know, passable, so I can really rip and kind of get to play with it. So I'll make sure that I can do what I need to do. That way I can get some practice in, and it's really not about, you know, trying to copy the course or something like that. I have no idea what the course is going to be, but just honing in the skills a little bit of handling this machine with the changes I made and getting better overall. So stay tuned for a little more in-depth practice video. I'll probably just, you know, post a video of me friggin' ripping and talking about it and kind of seeing how I've improved. So appreciate y'all liking, subscribing, continue watching, and we will see you on the next video. it.